The story begins on the 9 hells. There is always a struggle for the title of the strongest. This time, the battle was between the demons Karkas and Palak. It seemed like the battle would last forever, but everything stopped when he appeared. The king of all hell. Although it was unexpected, the Lord wanted to leave hell. He had the power of a devourer, a very scary power. He destroyed the 7 supreme demons. He was tired of all this, the same landscapes, some kind of battles are constantly taking place, and so every day. Okangwa was the name of the king of hell. Palak decided that perhaps the Lord was hungry, and prepared a gift in the form of the head of Pokalar, the last demon from the line of supreme demons. When Okangwu saw that head, he took it and threw it at Paloka, and said that he did not want to eat that disgusting food. He wanted kimchichige. In a word, he was bored here. Besides, he didn't even have anyone to love here. When he voiced this thought, Lilith appeared, who was considered the first beauty of hell. But the king clearly did not like her, and he asked her to disappear from his sight. A little later, he announced that he was returning to Earth and added that it was time to receive compensation for 10,000 years of torment, concluding by telling Palak to prepare for this. He had wanted to return for a long time, and the absorption of the last powerful demon ball had completed his preparations. In order to prepare, it was necessary to prepare the weapons of the 7 great demons, as well as to call the sorcerer Amon. He reported that if Okangwu put all his energy into this weapon, it would open a portal through time and space. And so this action began, the portal opened. Those present had the opportunity to observe the dark energy of Manhwa. The king of hell, going to the portal, understood that no one was waiting for him on earth, neither friends nor family, but for him it was still better than being here. Lilith wanted to follow him, but he did not allow it to happen. Upon returning to earth, Okangwu found himself in some obscure place, and that place's defense systems were activated because his power was extremely great. Then the system was in reboot mode, but some error occurred, it was impossible to eliminate the defect. Okangwu then grabbed something in. He woke up already in some forest and wanted to check his condition. On the hologram that displayed information about him, it was written that his special skills were sealed. And at that moment, some creatures jump out at him, which were not on the land he remembered. Okangwu decided to deal with them. At first he wanted to use dark energy, but it was weak. After that he used Sabnak's demon blade ability. He destroyed the creatures, which turned out to be E-rank goblins. After that, his power points increased and he reached the 4th level. He really felt that he had become stronger. There was a clear understanding that we needed to learn more about this place. The king began to use the power of the devourer. At this moment, there was one nuance. His dark energy increased, he did not understand how, because this energy only existed in hell. This made him think that the place where he got to was not the earth. At some point he heard a scream and realized that it was a human scream, and using Veilfar's skill, and his skill is acceleration, he quickly moved towards the sound. He looked at the crowd a little further away and hoped that there was a person there, just a person, and not some monster with tentacles. And so there really was a person there. He quickly moved to help. Destroyed all the monsters that were there. He saved a girl named Hansiela. Without thinking for a long time, he proposed to her to marry him. Siola was very surprised by this offer, but Kangwu quickly realized that he was doing something he shouldn't. Although he really liked this girl. After that, he asked the girl how her wound was. She replied that it was nothing serious, and at that moment she dropped her smartphone. Kangwu was happy about the device, but not happy that the situation with the girl's wound was more serious than it first seemed, and he gave her medical attention. In hell, the king forbade communication in the language of demons, and instead everyone communicated in Korean. This was done so that he would not forget the Korean language. And now he could communicate with people in Korean. He was very happy about it. When he handed the smartphone to Siola, he saw that it was 2023. This surprised him, because according to earthly standards, he spent 5 years in hell. After that, Seola told how she got here. It turned out that she went to the gate to hunt alone. After that, they went to that gate. When Kangwoo saw this gate, he was very surprised. When they passed through this gate, the boy even shed a tear, because he realized that he had really returned. After that, Seola invited him to eat together at her house. The guy, of course, wanted to agree, but his answer was a whole speech, so during this time people who checked the players' cards went to them. At this moment, the boy had to use the power of the demon Dantalion, the Lord of Oblivion. He could distort reality. And Seola and Kangwoo reached her house. The boy enjoyed everything that was on earth and compared it to hell. He was sure that a happy future awaited him. And so they entered the house. They were met by Seola's mother. The girl introduced her mother to Kangwoo and said she invited him to dinner. When the mother and daughter went to cook something delicious, the boy asked for the phone. He needed the phone to understand what was happening here. He found information that everything changed on February 22, 2018, then the day of despair came. Monsters began to appear from hundreds of gates. At the same time, a worldwide organization of emergency operations was created. Korea joined this organization. The first player appeared in the USA, and then the number of players around the world began to grow. The question arose whether they could become the salvation of mankind. Kangwoo recalled that it was on February 22, 2018 that he fell into hell. And now the moment came when the food was ready. The boy was very happy because he was eating kimchi stew. He liked it so much that he asked for a second portion. While Kangwoo was enjoying his meal, a guy called Seola burst into the house. It turned out that this guy's name is Han Tae-hyun. He came with claims to Seola and also wanted to take her to the Andras Guild. He started to pull her, but she resisted. This guy often expressed himself very uncivilly, and also threw the girl's mother to the ground. In a word, real scum. He then noticed Kangwoo, who was oblivious to anything but the kimchi. To distract him, Tae-young turned his lunch over. Kangwoo was not joking. It definitely shouldn't have been done. Kangwoo very quickly poked the scumbag and let him know that there was no need to be so brazen. After that, Tae-young washed the dishes and followed other instructions Kangwoo gave him. The king of hell then used the power of the demon Oroba, who was the lord of fear, and scared the scum really badly, then told him to go away and never tell anyone what happened in that house. Seol was a little worried that Kangwoo was saving her for the second time. And the boy himself at that time was thinking that he needed money. He saw information about magic stones on the internet. Immediately after that he asked the girl to give him a stone that she had. It was an earrank magic stone they had received from a goblin. When Kangwoo took this stone, he realized that there was no demonic energy in this stone. There is magic in this stone, it is a slightly different type of energy. But then the question arose where the demonic energy comes from. After that, the boy went back to solving the money problem and asked Seola if there were any player support centers nearby. She replied that there was none nearby, but she also needed to go there, so they could take the subway together. The girl wanted to help people like Kangwoo. When she told all this, the boy realized that he had met an angel, but even so, he knew that he couldn't go everywhere with her, because his effectiveness would decrease, and he needed to become stronger in order to survive. And nothing should interfere with this. Before leaving, the girl asked the boy if he had an ID card. It seems that there was no, and he asked to go to the city hall first. Kangwoo was issued a new ID card. It seems that no one noticed that he disappeared because there is no report of his disappearance. When they were going to the subway, Seola told him to look out the window, there were really amazing views. And so they arrived at the Seoul Player Support Center. Their headquarters were truly impressive. The girl had a gift for the boy. She gave him her old phone and said that they would contact each other later. And she herself went to sign up for a basic lecture for beginners. Kangwoo also wanted to go there. When the boy entered the middle, he noticed a device that issues tickets. Kangwoo got a ticket number 18 and was told to wait his turn. then he was invited to the testing room where people discussed who got which rank. People were talking about the 5 great masters of the guild who received the S rank. Kim Jae-hyun, Red Rose Chaz Youngju, Hanul Baek Kunghyun, Sanara Young Hyoju, and Anyuri Cha Minyak. These are the guilds that created the 5 best players in Korea. Kangwoo understood that when he fully recovered his strength he would definitely face them. He understood that his strength should be restored as soon as possible. If he uses the title player he can even become stronger than he was in hell. And so, when he entered the testing room, he put his hand on the ball and used his power to make the ball change color. He had a bad feeling and according to the test result, he received an F rank. Kangwoo understood that his powers were sealed but not enough to be an F rank. The girl who served him said that first he will receive an E rank player card with the ability to enter the gates of the same rank, and as for the gates of another rank, he will be able to enter there only with a guardian. The boy asked what he could do to raise his rank. He received an answer that if he completes the basic course for beginners, his rank will immediately increase to level D. Another way is the number of magic stones he has earned. He liked the second option more. When the boy had already left the testing room, the bullet was suddenly covered in ink, and everyone thought that it was defective, because it was believed that it was impossible to achieve black color. And now he has already come and entered one of them. There he met people who invited him to their team. The guy who talked to him the most was a guy named Kang Tae-soo. Although the boy noticed that Kang Tae-soo is very kind, he still refused to join their team because he already had a plan. Towards the end, Kangwoo is warned that the most terrifying monster to be found here is the hobgoblin. Compared to normal goblins, it is large in size. After the conversation, everyone had a good impression and everyone went their separate ways. Kangwoo followed the goblin's tracks and followed them. When he found those who had left these traces, he entered into battle. It cannot be said that the fight was easy, but the former king of hell managed. At the end of the battle, experience points increased, level increased, and demonic energy increased as well. Now it became clear that demonic energy is not contained in magic stones. To accumulate demonic energy, you need to absorb monsters, and magic stones can be sold. While collecting those stones, the boy imagined how much chicken meat he would be able to buy when he sold all those stones. He was already imagining how he was eating with Seola. He didn't expect that something could go wrong at this moment, but it did. A creature very similar to Hobgoblin appeared. Kangwoo was surprised that this monster also knew how to use magic. A serious battle ensued, during which the boy realized that he would not win by brute force, so he decided to use intelligence and cunning. Using the power of the demon Krazel, the Lord of Fury, he turned his opponent into an idiot and created many weak points in him. Kangwoo's victory did not make him wait long. After the victory, the boy received 150% bonus experience points, his level reached 11 and he unlocked the second awakening and also unlocked his special ability, the effect of gluttony. This allowed him to absorb even more demonic energy. He checked the special ability right away. After using the ability, his energy increased by 3 points, and he had an indicator of 19. With this ability, each victory made him even stronger. This time his power increased 3 times. This worried him a little, because the abnormal increase in strength could be dangerous. It appeared that the seal on the core of the 10,000 demons had become weaker. This is probably the result of the awakening. If this is the case, then as the boy levels up, he will also regain his original powers. Kangwoo's next goal was the third awakening. The scene then cuts to Kangwoo eating chicken with Seola. The girl asked if this chicken was better than the kimcha she made. The guy, of course, denied it. After that, during the conversation, Seola asked the boy if he has family or friends. He said he didn't have anyone, and to tell the truth, he didn't have a place to spend the night. Then the girl offered him to stay with her. The guy was surprised and happily agreed. Kangwoo was a little uncomfortable, but the girl calmed him down, saying that there was nothing wrong with it, because he had helped her more than once. After that, the boy did something unexpected. He gave the girl 3 million won. The girl could not take the money, but the boy convinced her to do it. Seola was incredibly happy and said that tomorrow she will buy the best meat and cook stewed kimchi. The boy was excited to be able to eat kimchi every day, and he was also excited for Seola. She is truly an angel. Kangwoo wanted to earn more to make Seola happy. After that, he asked if there was a D-rank gate nearby. The girl said that there is, but she herself has not yet been there, but she heard that there are many lizard people there. The boy decided to go there to defeat stronger monsters and unlock the next awakening. After that, the events are transferred to Seola's residence. She showed Kangwoo to his room and told him to make himself at home. The boy was sincerely grateful. He had not felt such comfort in the last 10,000 years. In short, returning to Earth was the right decision. At the gates, as always, there was a whole crowd of people. Everyone was looking for the people they needed in the teams. But now it's not about that. Kangwoo went to the D-rank gate. He tried to move as quietly as possible, because lizard people have very good hearing, but they had poor eyesight. And then the moment came when the boy found one such monster and used the power of the demon Andras, the Lord of Hellfire, because he knew that these lizards were not resistant to fire. Hellfire cannot be extinguished just like that. In order to extinguish it, you need to use demonic magic. Come to think of it, Taeyong's guild was called Andras. If the normal methods don't work on Taeyong, then Kangwoo might just destroy his guild. Then more of these monsters came running. Things were starting to get loud, but the boy turned the noise down in time to prevent too many lizard people from running. No need to complicate the situation, he decided. After the battle, his level increased once more. It turned out that the higher your level, the longer it takes to get the next one. A little later, some people from the Andras Guild appeared near Kangwoo and offered him to join them, but he refused and moved on. But these people could not return to their master empty-handed, so they decided to beat Kangwoo and then bring him to the master. Surprisingly, the fight did not start, but the following happened. The people of Andras made a commotion, hid themselves in the magic barrier, and Kangwoo was left outside. The lizard men were already approaching. And the boy was asked to kneel and then he would be helped. But Kangwoo wasn't stupid, he used the power of sound. After that, a bunch of monsters rushed to that place. When the guild people were panicking, Kangwoo simply used the power of silence. The moment came when the barrier fell, the people from the Andras Guild were crushed. When everything was quiet, Kangwoo used the power of gluttony. His demonic energy increased by 1. But he was unable to use the power of gluttony on those who were protected by the Gaia system. It turned out that with the help of gluttony, you cannot absorb the special skills of the players, but this did not matter much, because the main thing was the amount of demonic energy, which by the way had already reached the mark of 30. Since it was not much until the third awakening, Kangwoo decided that he would rest later. Further events take place in 3 days. The boy was enjoying the food that Seola had prepared. The girl worried whether Kangwoo was overexerting himself, since he had been hunting for several days without rest, but the boy assured her that everything was fine. After that, he asked Seola when her studies end. It turned out that this will happen in a few days. Kangwoo said that starting today, they will go goblin hunting together to level up Seola. She wanted to achieve a second awakening. The guy said he thought it would be coming soon. And finally, when Kangwoo was drinking tea before leaving, the girl asked if he had heard the latest news. It turned out that there were rumors that KAO players went hunting. They are dangerous because they fake their rank and then attack other players. The boy was not worried, but decided to remain vigilant. Very soon he reached level 20 and unlocked the third awakening. Every time Kangwoo went through the awakening of the seal on the core of the 10,000 demons, it weakened and demonic energy flowed out of it. The special ability of the third awakening was a demon that craves magic. The effect of this ability is the ability to absorb the magic inside the magic stones and turn it into demonic energy. The guy decided to try, and everything worked out for him. Kangwoo had never seen a lizardman boss, but he wanted to absorb a higher-ranked magic stone. Because of the dense forest, he couldn't see clearly, and he didn't have enough demonic energy to use the power of the observer, and suddenly he heard a familiar voice. It was Taisu, and everything looked like he and his teammates had been attacked. Taisu was not going to give up easily. Kangwoo watched all of this, but the moment one of the attackers used demonic energy, he had to intervene. Using the power of destruction, he gained an advantage. During the fight, he grabbed the man who was using demonic energy and asked him where he got it from. It turned out that the guild master Andres performed some kind of ritual and gave this scumbag this power. When Kangwoo asked about this ritual, the narrator died. It seems that the Andres Guild has come up with a way to kill the one who talked about the ritual. Taisu and his team thanked Kangwoo for saving them. Taisu was surprised. He knew that these guys from the Andres Guild did not have a stellar reputation, but he had no idea that they had KAO players. He wanted to report this to the Warang squad, but Kangwoo stopped him, saying that there was no need to do so yet. Kang Tae-soo confided in Kangwoo, said that from today he is under his command. He said that he would help Kangwoo in his adventures. He wanted to deal with the Andres Guild. Kangwoo noticed that Tessa looked a lot like Balak.